Vous le savez, dans l'extra interview, nous dressons le portrait de personnalités à travers leur amour pour le cinéma et la série. Et j'avoue qu'aujourd'hui c'est un peu Noël pour moi puisque nous allons rencontrer le chanteur Asaf Avidan à l'occasion de la sortie de son nouvel album Gold Shadow. Un chanteur que le cinéma et la série ont accompagné pendant toute son enfance entre la Jamaïque et Israël, puis au fil de ses pérégrinations musicales de New York à Paris. You've been moving from country to countries, and at any point when you were living in different places and somehow being cut from any roots, like solid roots, as cinema or television, ever been a place where you could connect with something you knew?
Always. It's usually when we moved to Jamaica. It was the first. I was 87, so at the time in Israel, it was still. It wasn't such a developed country, and there was nobody had videos and VHSs. And when I went to Jamaica, we were diplomats for the first time, and we had money for the. We became like from kind of a middle low class to kind of a high class family, and we got a VHS, which was, you know, for us, and a big TV or whatever was big at the time, and we had satellite, which had American television, and that's probably all I did for 4 years. And it might be a stretch to say it saved my life, but it used to be like there was anchors and there were movies and TV shows that you would watch, and you know there was, and it was at the time where it was still a partly social thing in the house that people would go in the living room and watch TV together, you know, and the dad will say, "Hey kid, look at that, MacGyver," you know, and so it was, so yeah, it was a big part of life, I think, for every kid in the 80s.
What was these movies? What were the movies you remember watching with your family?
It would be either like funny movies, like what was, I don't know, Airplane and The Naked Gun, all these parodies or stuff. We saw a lot of Disney movies. That's when I fell in love with Disney. That's partly why later I became an animator, because I was so in love with that. The real old classics, Bambi and Dumbo, and my little brother was just born, so he was really into it, and all you know, the first Batman came out, and it was like this huge thing. Die Hard. I remember like little moments as a kid in Jamaica. We used to go to a drive-in. You know, there wasn't really good cinemas in Kingston where I lived, so there was these big, almost 60s drive-ins, and you would go and you'd put your radio to the station and see movies that way.
But do you think that any of those movies or cartoons shaped the way you became a storyteller in a way?
Have to. They have to. It's such a big part of life and who I am. And also, I mean, it's funny because I keep on like naming all kinds of kind of things that touched me as a 9-year-old kid, but my parents were real film lovers, and there was everything from, you know, Hitchcock or whatever, Citizen Kane or The Bicycle Thief, or like kind of classics that you have to see if you like cinema, and I've been seeing those films ever since I was a kid as well. And I think that's, I don't know, storytelling and the way that we see it, you know, the modern Western way of storytelling is in there. Even if you take like a Disney movie, it's the classical thing. If you take Star Wars, it's a classical Greek-oriented storytelling mechanism, and I like that.
How did you end up studying cinema in the first place?
It's life led me to it. I came back from Jamaica as a young kid. I was about 11, and I came back to Israel, and the transition from school to school and country to country wasn't a very good one, and I became like a really hard teenager, and I kept on getting into fights and being expelled from school all the time. And at the age of 13 or 14, my mom really had to pull me out of that school, the public school, and try to find a place that I will maybe survive. And she found this art school. And the only way that you could get accepted there is if one of the different departments would take you. and I didn't really know. I wasn't a painter. I didn't really have any art skills, so I applied. So I applied for cinema. For the audience that sees this, you see me and you talking, and it's great and it's nice, and you don't notice the amount of work. There's 2 cameras and there's light and there's so much work in this, and it's us sitting on a couch talking. The amount of work that it took to make, film festival films, 8-minute, 12-minute films, was ridiculous, especially when I went to animation. And it just, from the initial idea to the final presentation of that feeling to an audience was such a long process that, with music I found that it's a much more immediate outlet for emotion. It's, you open yourself and you hear yourself do it, and it's kind of, maybe I'm a bit too lazy for cinema.
So we've talked about cinema, but how about TV series?
Now is the golden age for TV, but it's a very specific genre of TV. It's these HBO or Netflix shows that are films for every, they are short films in a series. And I think the only really things that really touched me, influenced me, blasted my mind and heart are these shows. Like
what shows?
There's one right now, but it's so depressing. I would never do it, but I think it's the most honest depiction of life that I saw. It's the new one, Olive
Kittredge?
Yeah, Olive Kittredge.
What's depression? It's bad wiring, makes your nerves raw. Runs in our family.
Your mother is not depressed.
Yes, I am. Happy to have it, because it's being smart. Is that why you're so mean all the time? Absolutely.
I saw the 4 episodes.
And that's it?
That's
all there is?
That's all there is?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my, have I given you a bad day right now?
No, because, no, not at all. They're not making, it's a short, it's like it's a mini-series.
Yeah.
I didn't see the last episode, so I don't know what happened, so don't tell me. But I just saw until the part, I'm not gonna, can I give a spoiler? No, I don't want to give a spoiler. Anyway,
we are the channel that aired it. Oh my God, don't say that.
We all do in the end. And I think that's the thing, that thing about seeing people get old in front of your eyes, because it's 25 years in front of you, and the makeup there is amazing. It just, I don't know, see people deteriorating in front of your eyes is, it's something that scares me, and dealing with somebody who can't really show her affection or feelings at all, and dealing with age and coming and life progressing without you really seizing it. I don't know. It's just a harsh depiction of reality. I get no money from HBO, I swear. I really don't know how the last 5 years or more of my life would be without HBO.
Entre 2 visionnages de séries, Asaf Avidan sera en tournée dans toute la France à partir de mars.